Hi there, Jimmy. It has been a pleasure speaking with you on the phone, and as promised, this is going to be a short video that outlines our approach to helping a hospital or other healthcare organization make the transition from a culture focused on accountability to a culture of ownership. Now, first of all, our content, we put a lot of work into creating courses on personal empowerment, on values-based life and leadership skills, and it's a very consistent curriculum. However, we work with critical access hospitals, we work with big academic medical centers and everything in between. And so we don't have a cookie cutter for implementing it. We actually work with the hospital to figure out what's going to be the best for them. And we have a 4-step process: assess, inspire, engage, and sustain. And let me talk about each one briefly. We start by helping you assess the culture of your organization. More important, how do your people perceive that culture? Oh, we'll look at things like your website and recruiting materials. How are you presenting yourself to the world? But we have a very unique and validated culture assessment survey called the VCI 17, because there are 17 questions. And it will give you a unique window into how your people perceive the culture, what it's like to work there. How positive, how negative is it? There are a lot of opportunities for open comments, which gives us a pretty good perspective on what people are thinking. It even allows us to calculate the cost of toxic emotional negativity to your organization. And there's always a cost, and it's always higher than the executive leadership team thinks it is or would like it to be. And then we give you a report that says, here's what your people are telling us about their perception of the culture, and here are our recommendations. And that gets to the second step, which is inspire. Inspire people to want to think like owners. We often give people a book, usually it's the Florence prescription, on moving from accountability to ownership. And because that's a fun fictional story, everybody, people from housekeeper on up to head of the medical staff, people enjoy reading it, and it will spark a conversation. In that book, and beyond that book, we have lots of tools to help people be more inspired in their own lives. For example, the pickle pledge. I will turn every complaint into either a blessing or a constructive suggestion. When people make that a part of their thinking, it is a 180-degree mind shift on how you deal with the adversity and the stress of everyday life. And then building on that, the self-empowerment pledge, one promise for each day of the week on being personally responsible, personally accountable and determined and positive and resilient. And here's what we see. When people in a hospital will get together for a daily leadership huddle, and then huddles on every floor, and start, it takes 1 minute. Start with that promise and then the day's promise. Over time, the words start to sink in. People start to make changes in their attitudes and in their behaviors. And once a critical mass of people make that commitment, it has an impact on the culture. And then the next step is engage. You can inspire people, but it wears off, doesn't it? No football team ever won a game because of the pep rally, even though pep rallies are fun. Moving from pep rally to program of the month, you have to help people connect with their personal values. And since most people really haven't thought about what their values are, we created a course called the 12 Core Action Values. It's a 60-module course, 12 values. Each value has 4 cornerstones on universal values, from authenticity, core action value number 1, through leadership number 12. These are the values that you want to see reflected in your organization. These are the values that your people want to live and teach their children. And we teach it as a Train the Trainer course. So our certified values coach trainers go through a 4-day course to learn how to, first, to internalize the material themselves, and second, to learn how to teach it. And then we want every employee from housekeeper on up to go through a 2-day course taught by their coworkers on how to live their values more effectively. And when people start getting clear about what does it mean to be authentic, what do we mean when we talk about integrity? How can awareness help us do a better job of caring for our patients and supporting each other? You start to see a permanent change in the culture. This is why I got a letter from the CEO of one of the hospitals we worked with. He said, I got a whole new team and didn't have to change the people because they changed themselves. And then finally, once we're done with the formal work, we want you to continue your progress. So the fourth step is sustain. And we have a values trainer website with lots of resources to help your values trainers and all of your people continue their progress. We do refresher courses. And then we have a very unique award. It's called the Inspired Award for Values and Culture Excellence. And there are 6 criteria you have to meet, including reaching out to your community in an important way, sharing what you've learned with others through publications or presentations. And we give you a really nice plaque, and you create a wall somewhere, something that people can be really proud of. And striving for and maintaining that is one of the ways that you sustain this progress toward a culture of ownership, which of course is an ongoing journey, not just a one-time destination. So that's a quick recap of what we do, and we're looking forward to working with you and meeting some of the organizations that you work with. Thanks, Jimmy.